Before we talk about how Denis can beat Devon, let's take a look at all of the highlights from Istanbul since Devon and Denis have landed there. In the first video on Engin's channel, Devon said about Denis, "He worries me, he does, I can't lie." As the match has been approaching closer and closer, everyone including Devon is having more faith and more trust in Denis Cyplenkov's arm wrestling abilities. But Devon did say that Denis is going to witness some unwitnessed fury that he has never seen before. The kind of aggression that Devon is going to bring to the table, Denis may not have dealt with that before. And I kind of do agree with that statement because in 2018, it did not matter. Denis was that much stronger than Devon. And I don't think that even Devon in his own mind believed that he can win that match. That's why the trash talk wasn't there. At the press conference, even Scott Mendelson was able to out-trash talk Devon. He was clearly not feeling confident at all. But right now, I think Devon genuinely believes that he's the favorite to win this match. And that is what is going to bring out the confidence that is inside of him. In the second video, Devon talked about Denis always being relaxed, always being in the second gear, allowing people to hit, taking a low grip, and then beating them with ease. He's not going to do that in the real match. So that's why Devon was kind of indicating that Denis may be hiding his true strength, his true abilities in the videos that he have been showing us. And quickly touching on the endurance aspect, Devon did say that every round against Denis is going to be tougher. Well, he said it in a manner like Denis is going to kind of wake up after the first round. He's going to be more aggressive and more serious. But I think that includes the endurance part as well. If Denis gets completely out arm wrestled in the first round, I don't really see him making a comeback unless there are levels between the endurance of these two guys, which I doubt. And then they also discussed about Devon's next opponent, possibly at King of the Table, which is going to be 4 weeks after East vs West. And Engin did confirm, and also Devon confirmed, that the winner of Georgi Swetkov versus Zaur Pezulaev match is going to face Devon at most likely King of the Table in 4 weeks. That's a really good matchup. In the third video, Denis was shown doing some charity work, giving food to the homeless. And you can clearly see the difference in the popularity, how much people are interested in which athlete. All of the Denis Cyplenkov videos are just totally outpowering the Devon Larratt videos. That man is really, really famous and people really want to know what Denis has to say. And then in the video, Devon Larratt is ready for the battle. I noticed something interesting. Right in the start of the video, Devon is seen having a huge fat belly. Well, if he's below 260 pounds, as he's claiming to be, then that does not look like a great shape. I'm sure when he flexes his abs, he can kind of show a very lean picture, not having that much belly fat, but it's not showing like that in this photo. And meanwhile, Denis Cyplenkov is looking absolutely lean, absolutely peaked. He did say that his weight is around 131 kilos, which is about 290 pounds, almost 290 pounds. And he said that he kind of feels weak and soft before the match. It's right before the match when he can switch and get into the aggressive, strong mode. So we are going to see that on November 11th. And now let's discuss how Denis can beat Devon Larratt. This Devon versus Denis match is one of those rare occasions where neither of the arm wrestlers would mind going on the losing side. And what I mean by that is, let's assume, and there is not much assumption here because this may very well happen. So let's say Denis is strong enough to just clamp his fingers on Devon's hand and he just goes sideways. Meanwhile, while trying to finish him, even if he loses his wrist, he is still able to finish and get that first pin. That is a possibility and it may be happening because Denis may be just way too strong. But for sure, nobody can do that to Devon 3 times in a row. It just won't happen. And trying to finish Devon will be the most difficult thing that Denis has ever done on the arm wrestling table. So what needs to be done is Denis needs to stay patient on the losing side, because Devon is also going to struggle equally. I don't believe that if Denis gives up everything to keep his pronation, then Devon can finish him easily. He will struggle and he will have to resort to the flop press, and that's where Denis can cause some troubles. And we're not even talking about the King's move till now, because we know for a fact that Denis will go to the King's move. When we see Denis struggling against Zaur Pezulaev, he just lays his arm down because he cannot keep up with the pronation. He just loses in those practice pulls. But we know for a fact that Denis in real match scenario will not go down without a king's move. He will hit that king's move for sure before he decides to lose that round, and that's where Devon can run into some trouble. Let's talk about their physical attributes. Denis is 6'1", Devon is at least 4 inches taller. But if we talk about the weight, Devon is about 255 and Denis is almost 290. Good 30-pound difference between these two. Biceps and forearm size side by side comparison, Devon is about 16.5 and 18.5 and Denis is 1 inch bigger than Devon in both bicep and forearm. But I'll say in terms of strength, Denis is not lacking anywhere, like literally anywhere. Even if we compare the pronation, I don't think Denis Cyplenkov's pronation is less than Devon. The effective net pronation may be less because Devon's forearm is longer, and when pronation comes at a higher height, it results in more pronation. That may be one of the reasons. But clearly both of them are top roll specialists. If we talk about the back pressure, that's not even comparable. I know that if somebody loses his wrist slightly, it is almost impossible to apply that much back pressure. But that's not the case with Denis. He can still do that. We always see that whenever Denis gets in some trouble, his elbow immediately switches from the front end of the pad to the absolute back end of the pad, and his arm doesn't open that much. His back pressure is simply insane, for sure stronger than Devon's back pressure. If we talk about a shoulder press, the shoulder press that Denis was able to do against Arsen Liliev, this one, and the shoulder roll that Denis was able to do against Andre Pushkar, this one, if Denis can bring this against Devon, then I think Devon is going to be in big trouble and he may lose this match. So Denis has to do what he has already done in the past. He doesn't need to invent anything new. The king's move that he hit against Dave Chaffee, he needs to do that. And the press that he did against Arsen Liliev and Andre Pushkar, he needs to do that as well. Inside power, not even a comparison. Devon was kind of jokingly saying, I think he was serious as well, that he wants to go in a hook in round 1. But no, he's not going to go there. It will end terribly for Devon. And endurance. That is one of the biggest question marks in this match. Who has more endurance? Is it Devon or is it Denis? In the pronation game, Devon just doesn't get tired. Inside, he might get tired, but Denis can never force Devon inside a hook. So that's not going to go there. But we have seen in the past that when Devon tries to finish a king's move, as we saw against Michael Todd 2018, he may get gassed out, and that's the likely situation. If Denis hits that king's move, then this match may look somewhat similar to the 2018 Devon versus Michael Todd match, where Devon may struggle to finish the king's move. So the tension is rising. Denis told Coach Ray that he will not be in the same room as Devon for the interview. So clearly there is no love lost between these two. The match is going to be awesome, and if Denis executes all of his moves perfectly, then he for sure does have a shot. Thanks for watching, like the video and subscribe.